Hello everybody, and welcome to the third installment of the MSJC Campus Safety Video Series. The topics to be covered in this video are student safety awareness, barricading, and fighting back during an active shooter event. My name's Angelica, and I'm joined here today by Deputy Kelly Looney, Sergeant Jim Burton, and Deputy Chris Waters. All the deputies here today work at MSJC and are a part of the campus safety team.
Angelica, thank you for having us. This is a continuation of our video series that we've been doing here at MSJC to try and bring about some topics and issues involving general campus safety. Today's video we're going to cover two topics. The first will be general safety ideas involving safety of our students, staff, and faculty, and then we'll go into a little bit more on active shooter. As you know, we did a video series with active shooter in the beginning. We've done a few drills, we've had some questions, so we want to try and follow up and try and address some of the issues that have been brought to us with regards to barricading and fighting back on an active shooter. But we want to begin the video with just some general safety around campus. So I think we just begin with Sergeant Burton, who will give us some tips and ideas on vehicle safety and students around the parking lots and around campus. Sergeant Burton.
Although you may feel safe, and we try to make this campus as safe as possible, you have to remember that the perpetrators may not be your fellow students. The campus and the parking lot are both open to the public. So a lot of times crimes such as vehicle burglary are going to be crimes of opportunity. So by leaving your vehicle open, your trunk open, your vehicle unlocked, leaving items such as your backpack, your purse, wallet, cell phone, even your books for school, these are all opportunities that somebody passing by can grab just by breaking a window. So there's nothing really preventing them from breaking the window other than not having those items left in plain view.
I was very surprised to hear about the problems with leaving your school books out. I wouldn't have thought that leaving those out would have created a problem.
Well, school books are very valuable, and somebody can take those books, and if they don't have them, they don't have to spend the money that they would have to buy or spend to buy the books themselves. They can also sell them online, so it is an item that is extremely valuable. And if you're without it, then you can't further your education.
Very well. Deputy Looney, did you have anything to add to that?
I do. As for the staff and for students that are showing up on campus, most of the time the campus opens around 8 o'clock in the morning and goes up until the late hours, about 10 o'clock at night. For the female students and for female faculty that are walking to their vehicles late at night, especially after sundown, I would recommend that if you're going to be parking within the parking lots at any of the campuses, that you park underneath a well-lit area. And if you are friends with individuals within your classroom or your fellow staff members or fellow faculty, I would recommend walking in pairs and parking in a similar area where the parking lot is. One, it's for safety purposes. Two, you don't want to walk around by yourself. And three, at night, there are some areas on the campuses that are not very well lit. Areas where the bathrooms are, some of them the staircase and the hallways. You want to be able to be aware of what's around you, and in case of something were to come up where an individual wanted to attack or assault you, you at least know to steer clear of those areas while you're going to your car. And speaking on this type of issue, we do have a video that shows the do's and don'ts of what you can and can't do, what you should and shouldn't do, pertaining to walking to your vehicle at night, either from the campus or from any location in general. And it's a good safety video for this type of subject.
So what we saw, Angelica, was a pretty powerful visual video of a young lady who's not paying attention whatsoever and doing what a lot of folks are doing now that have cell phones and tablets and different devices that they're paying attention to instead of paying attention to what's around them. And sometimes with predators out there, that can lead to a pretty tragic result. What we're going to do is we're going to talk about what she did wrong, and then we're going to talk about how she can fix that, or what she should have done and what she should do right. So Deputy Looney is going to take us through a little bit of what she did wrong and then some suggestions on what she should have done during walking out to her vehicle. Deputy Looney?
As with what we saw in this video, the young lady is walking out of a business, and instead of having her head up and alert and paying attention to what's going on with her surroundings, she has her cell phone in her hand.
Right.
She's texting. She's not paying attention. She has all of her belongings on her shoulders. So she's multitasking like most women do, and the problem with that is she's not paying attention to what's near and around her car. So as she's walking to her vehicle, she doesn't notice the individual that's loitering around her vehicle. She doesn't notice that the individual is technically paying attention to her more than anything else that's going on in the parking lot. So as she approaches her car, she turns her back to him. She's still texting on her cell phone because she's not paying attention. She has to dig through her bag to get to her keys to open up her car door. And at that point in time, the suspect uses that as an opportunity to attack her, which then leads her to dropping her phone, dropping part of her belongings, and she unfortunately gets kidnapped. There are ways and methods of things that she could have done to prevent this. As soon as she had walked out of the business, instead of having her cell phone out, if she really needed to technically talk to that individual, she could have had them on a cell phone in an actual voice conversation or a FaceTime, which, because of the technology that we have, there's a lot of people that'll FaceTime while they're walking to their car. One, it gives the other individual that they're talking to an idea of where they're at and what's going on, so that if she's voicing, hey, I'm walking to my car, I feel a little uncomfortable. I think I see someone in the parking lot that I don't normally recognize out here. Just stay on the phone with me while I walk to my car. I'm gonna get my keys out, and at least this way she has her keys in her hand. I know she's still talking on her phone. She may have the phone up to her ear, but it would be a little more beneficial if she had at least, her strong arm free, so that if she were to have to defend herself against attack, she at least has, one hand free for that. But as she's walking to her car, at least this way, she's cognizant of her surroundings. Walking with a purpose, walking to her car quickly, knowing that there's an issue that's going on, she can quickly get to her car, unlock her car door, get into the car, lock the doors, and take off and leave. If it's a situation where she feels that she doesn't feel safe walking to her car, she can walk back to the building, and like with most of us here at the campus, every single individual has an ID card, and on the back of that ID card it has the Mount San Jacinto Community College Police Department, which is affiliated with the Campus Safety Office. That officer can take and escort her to her vehicle if she feels that she's not safe to walk to her car. The other thing that she can do is she can, have a fellow classmate walk with her to her car. If she feels that she's unsafe, safety in numbers. You get a couple of your classmates, you walk to your vehicle, and or she can walk with them to their car, get in the car, and drive off to her car to get into her car and take off and leave. This will keep the individual who is, loitering around and doesn't belong on that campus or doesn't belong in that parking lot. It keeps them from making their attack, because now they are second guessing, well, now there's more than one person out here. And this way, she'll feel a little bit safer while she gets to her car.
Those are all very great tips. A lot of times we don't like to think of these things happening or about to happen, or we don't like to think of the thought that somebody might be planning something ill towards us. But that is exactly what's going on in this video. There is someone there, and there is someone that has a thought already that he's going to kidnap this woman. And we're walking about our day and not thinking about those things, trying to text or, like you said, multitasking. And we need to be aware of those things. Sergeant Burton, did you have anything else that you would like to bring out about this video?
Yes, it's important to be cognizant of your surroundings. So you should always be looking around and seeing if anything looks out of place. And if you see something that's out of place, pay attention to it, because that might be what's going to end up hurting you. So in this example, like Deputy Looney was referring to, she was talking about being on the phone with a person instead of texting.
Right.
If somebody attacks you in the middle of a text, you're not going to be able to relate that to that person that you're texting that you were just attacked. But if you're talking to them in an actual voice call, then you can tell them that, hey, this person is attacking me. And more than that, when you see somebody approaching you that you're not sure of, you can stare at the individual and make him aware or her aware that you see them and you are aware that they're in your area or approaching you. And that might intimidate them. It might further intimidate them or prevent them from attacking you if you start providing a description of the person to the person you're talking to on the phone. So as the person's walking up and you provide that person, hey, this guy looks kind of freaking me out, and this is what he's wearing and this is what he looks like, that might prevent that person from also trying to attempt anything with you.
That is very interesting that you pointed out, making that eye contact. A lot of times as females, we don't want to make other people feel uncomfortable, and so sometimes that could be a little bit difficult for us to do. So thank you for pointing that out.
You should also have a plan. So it doesn't take somebody that's trained in martial arts or the MMA to come up with a plan to defend yourself. So always be ready to have that attack mindset ready to go. So if you have your keys in your hand, possibly use it as a defensive weapon to reach out and strike somebody, just in case something does happen to you.
Very good. Thank you for that. Deputy Waters, did you have anything to add to this?
They both Sergeant Burton and Deputy Looney made excellent points on what to do. If you are being attacked, and you can dial 911 on your phone, you don't have to speak. You can just keep that line open. Maybe put that phone in your pocket during the struggle. Keep that phone line going. Keep that cell phone open to 911. That can help us with electronics. We can find your position and try and get you in case you are moved, or you are start moving, or you are kidnapped. So all those are excellent points, and that's probably the one thing I would add to it.